Will Alex Pereira score another knockout victory against Israel Adesanya, or will Israel Adesanya resort to being a Division 1 wrestler? Hello everybody and welcome to Against the Fence. I'm JK and this is your UFC 281 main event breakdown. What's going to happen? Stay tuned for more. Okay, so first up, if you haven't seen the kickboxing bouts, I suggest you go and watch them after this video because they're very key to kind of what could potentially happen in this fight. Now, in the first one, it was very, very close. I personally had Israel winning the fight. I think he'd done enough to definitely secure the victory, but it was Alex Pereira who picked up the decision win. In the second one, I felt that Israel was a bit more aggressive that time around, and he was cruising his way to victory. He was doing enough to potentially pick up a decision, but he got caught with that nasty left hook from Alex Pereira leading in towards the end of the fight. But yes, do check them out because they're going to be very, very key. Okay, I did enjoy those fights. I felt that Pereira he didn't look his best, but I think Izzy looked better out of the two, but it was that knockout blow which kind of done the damage in the end. Now, this is MMA, and the styles are a lot different to kickboxing. For Israel Adesanya, he's got that wide stance, he's going to set traps, and then look to pick you apart with his counters. As for Alex Pereira, he's got a much more tighter style, he's more upright, and he's going to look to lead you onto that left hook of his. Now, as for Israel Adesanya, since moving to MMA, he's kind of adjusted this more sort of slow style. He really slowed down his style, and he relies on his counters and his movement throughout his fights. The octagon size, I think, will work in his favor, and I've said this in a previous video when the Pereira versus Strickland fight was announced. I kind of broke it down a little bit there because let's be honest, we all wanted to see this fight. We all were expecting it to happen, but the octagon size, I think, will be a big factor for Israel because it means that he'll be able to use his footwork and slide out of the way of Pereira's attacks. I think he's going to be second in the exchanges, pick Pereira apart, and hope to maybe get a late finish once Pereira is tired and when he's no longer got that power of his. Now, for Pereira, I think he's going to be hoping the recent criticism that Izzy has been receiving will play into his hands. By forcing Izzy to kind of commit a lot more than in this fight. If this does happen, I think he'll have a better chance of landing his big shots. And unlike Cannonier, I think he needs to take more risks in this fight to get off those big shots. Obviously, he's got much better kickboxing experience than Jared Cannonier, so that's going to work in his favor coming into this. And obviously the confidence level. Having already beaten Israel twice in kickboxing, he's now got to go out there and prove a point and do it in MMA. Now, as for Izzy, he's got a lot to prove coming into this. There's a lot of weight on his shoulders. And he's going to want to silence the doubters in this. Prove that he can be entertaining and just kind of put this Pereira saga to bed. I think a lot of people might be favoring Pereira to win this based off of those kickboxing bouts. But like I said, this is not a kickboxing affair, and those aspects of a mixed martial arts game is going to pay into Izzy's favor. I feel that the wars that he's had against well-polished mixed martial artists like Marvin Vettori, like Robert Whittaker, are going to kind of favor him in this. He's kind of his overall ability has kind of got way higher since these two have last paired, and I think it's going to be interesting. It's going to be an interesting bout. As for Pereira, if he loses, on the other hand, it's not going to be the end of the world. He's got so much more to develop. I'm sure he's going to be working a lot more with Glover Teixeira, but the fights after Izzy, I think, will be way, way tough. I mean, not necessarily tougher, but they're not going to be easy pickings. It's going to be nightmares from there on out. You're going to have the Robert Whittakers, the Paulo Costas, the Marvin Vettoris, all knocking on the door, and there'll be intriguing fights. But if Pereira goes out there and gets dominated by Izzy, then he's not going to get he's not going to win any favors against those previous names that I've just mentioned. So, you know, let's hope that he can land that big shot, because that's what it's all going to be about. It's whether or not Pereira can land that big shot. And it kind of moves on to my prediction now. I kind of want to look. I mean, it's either going to be Izzy cruises to a boring decision, or Pereira's going to get that knockout. Now, I want to throw in a caveat here that maybe some of you guys might not have thought of. Maybe Pereira might be able to win a decision in this fight. Now, that's only if Israel is a much more slower. Okay, he does take his time. If he does that and Pereira is able to land a big shot in rounds 1, then he will definitely score the round. And I can see perhaps Izzy taking round 2, picking apart, being a bit more active with his strikes than Pereira, using his movement and securing the round that way. Then in round 3, maybe a big shot might just wobble him. I can see it maybe being a lot closer in that round, but maybe the judges might favor it in Pereira's side if he's able to kind of knock Izzy back a little bit, you know? And then I think maybe in round 4, he could very much, you know, do the same and be a bit more, with a bit more punctuation to it. And then Izzy will take round 5 in the same kind of way. So, you know, maybe Pereira can win a decision in this. But like I said, it all depends on what Izzy's game plan is going to be. And, you know, like we said, he might want to try and hush the doubters in this and push the pace a little bit, which he didn't do in the Cannonier fight, to kind of prove a point. It's going to be really interesting to see where Izzy's head's at. So far in fight week, we've seen he looks a little bit different. He's not as kind of confident as we're used to seeing. So it's going to be intriguing. And look, they're my kind of options. I want Pereira to win. My heart kind of says, or my head kind of thinks, Izzy's going to win based on those factors, based on the fact that he's going to be a bigger octagon and the slicker movement and the more well-rounded martial artist that Israel is. But look, like I said, I'm hoping for a knockout. If you're hoping for a Pereira knockout, smash a like on the video. If you're hoping for an Israel Adesanya win and you're a big Izzy fan, let us know in the comments section. Let us know how you think this fight's going to go, and also smash a like on the video. And don't forget, this weekend, we're going to be having a live watch along, as always, for the main card, so make sure you stay tuned for that. We'll be at the usual main card time slot. Don't miss it. Details are coming. Stay tuned also for the People's Pick Show, which will also be coming up as well, if you want more breakdowns of the rest of the card. All right, I'm JK. I've been your host, and hit the subscribe button if you haven't done so already. Peace out, and we'll see you this weekend.